of Smart Means Business on the 6th of September. That is 2024. As definitely we proceed. Well, heading straight into part of the training topics today, we all know that as artificial intelligence becomes an increasingly integral part of the global economy, nations are definitely racing to establish what we call regulatory, that is frameworks that balance innovation with ethical considerations. Of course, Uganda, just like many other countries, it is at crossroads. That is when it comes to determining how best to regulate, that is this rapidly evolving technology. Now, of course, in today's discussion, we shall definitely be exploring the emerging regulatory landscape of artificial intelligence, that is in Uganda, of course, during comparisons with international efforts. Now, in Kenya, AI is already being harnessed. That is to improve, that is vital sectors like power production and supply, showcasing that is its transformative potential for the national infrastructure of that country. And of course, still as we proceed, meanwhile, safety and accountability concerns have prompted what we call significant, that is global investments such as OpenAI. Of course, we see the co-founder, that is Ilya, his new safety-focused artificial intelligence startup, which recently secured a staggering $1 billion, that is in funding. Of course, still to proceed furthermore, countries like Australia are definitely advancing in artificial intelligence regulations, of course, focusing on the oversight and ensuring that this technology is used responsibly. Now, definitely, I would say that the world is watching as governments craft policies to not only foster technological growth, but also to protect the public interests. Now, as we dive today into the various part of all the various approaches from Kenya's practical implementations to global safety investments, talking about Australia's legislative efforts, we'll evaluate what Uganda can definitely learn learn and supply to its own journey towards the responsible artificial intelligence regulation. Now, earlier this year, that is, I remember it was in February, the Deputy Speaker of Parliament definitely said, was mentioning about forming regulatory frameworks that should govern artificial intelligence. But of course, the question is, in Uganda, have we really faced such a huge threat, most especially when it comes to what artificial intelligence can definitely kind of hinder? But according to statistics from the International Monetary Fund, they clearly definitely reveal that most of the big economies, the developed economies, what we call the first world economies, 60% chances that the jobs of the citizens of those countries are actually not safe. But however, the statistics still reveal that despite the risk of job loss in those countries, but also they have a huge opportunity to benefit from all the best alternatives that artificial intelligence can definitely provide. So they're at risk, but also they're having the benefit. So of course, today we shall be taking a look at artificial intelligence governance trends, and of course, part of this includes increasing the artificial intelligence regulatory activity, taking a look at artificial intelligence governance trends, which of course, these are the artificial intelligence trends to watch out. We see advancements in open collaboration. We see the growing need, that is for skilled professionals. Now, this is what I was mentioning about the countries that stand quite a huge chance, definitely, to benefit from this. Now, of course, we shall be also taking a look at new organizational trends, new organization and technological self-governance in that specific line. Of course, as we proceed, of course, we shall be taking a look at what other people really think. We had actually the Vice Chancellor of one of the famous universities that came out and said that Uganda will pay a price of inaction if we don't act fast on artificial intelligence. Of course, according to his view, definitely, he stands out to say that there are quite massive opportunities that we can miss out in case we don't embrace artificial intelligence. That is from his perspective. And of course, take a look at the Bank of Uganda, which definitely came out and said that we can't protect you against artificial intelligence generated fraud. This is a statement that was made earlier this year, and it made actually rounds all across the different the different countries within East Africa. So that is those are part of the key aspects here. In Uganda, we may not have really faced lots of threats. For example, if I'm to say what artificial intelligence might actually pose, but in other countries, we already are seeing a fraud all related to this. But of course, we shall be having further details in relation to this, and later on, I'll be joined with a guest. He specializes in artificial intelligence, is is into the legal perspective, legal tech, legalizing tech, putting up legal frameworks that can actually govern technology. And all these come in line with the privacy-related concerns and so many more. Well, at exactly 20 minutes past 7, let's get into the press and take a look at what's making headlines right there. Of course, heading into the press, starting off with a new vision. Already I'm seeing government overhauls curriculum, of course, for tertiary schools. So what does this really entail? We shall be taking a look at the further details as I get to open these. And of course, still, government comes out and names city roads that are to be tarmacked. Of course, the government has announced the commencement of an infrastructure project that will yield the construction of 300 kilometer. That is in the Greater Kampala metropolitan area. And of course, I think you would agree with me, some of these projects are actually already underway. We're seeing some improvements that are happening within the city center, which have caused some little bit of commotion. But of course, despite that's just a short-term disadvantage, I'll say. Now, of course, still as we proceed, Pentecostal bishop has been remanded. That is over fraud. Of course, the question is, what are the details of this fraud? Grab yourself a copy of the New Vision and you will be in position to get to find out what really this is. And taking a look here at a farmer that has been remanded over burning a disabled man to death. Yeah, quite very sad. And President Museveni asks CID, DPP to prioritize corruption-related cases. Okay, when you grab yourself a copy, you'll get to find out what his request was like. And curriculum for vocationals, polytechnics, yes, overhauled. Yeah, so when you get to find out this. And of course, maybe what got my interest is that with the effect from the academic year, that is 2025, students who enroll at community polytechnics will definitely will study under the revised curriculum. So this is quite some good news there. If we're talking about seeing what the implementation of the new curriculum there. Of course, as still we proceed, HIV infections have actually been, the spread of HIV has actually been a huge topic here. And statistics say that in 2023 alone, we had over 15,000 young people that were actually acquired HIV infections. So that is something that is, of course, it's like a voice in the wilderness, and it's spreading an alarm to take care of all various ways. Of course, we know that Uganda's population, about over 75% contains the youth, and seeing that young people, 15,000 every year get these infections, kind of tries to give us a projection of what will it be like for the future controllers and governors of the social and of socio-economical and political related institutions within this country, if they are facing such a barricade, let me say that. So that is quite a huge threat. And of course, we see how government paid 28.8 billion Ugandan shillings. That is in an illegal wetland deal. Yeah, so Let's get to find out what really entails. When you grab yourself this copy, you will be in position to find out. And President Museveni donates 36 motorcycles to Ghetto Sackos. Find out that. And of course, taking a look here at China from the international perspectives, we see Xi Jinping proposes 10 actions that is to advance Africa. Last time, I remember we had a story that was published that was actually saying that China is winning the hearts of Africa through satellite television. And and Xi's here proposing part of the 10 actions to advance Africa. And still just a brief here, we see that China will expand market access for African agriculture products. It will also deepen cooperation with Africa in e-commerce and other related areas. Of course, there are quite lots of headlines. I may not be in position to exhaust this due to time. Is not really on our side, but that's just it from the New Vision, and I think that means I call it, I wind it up from that now, from that perspective, and now I open the Daily Monitor. Let's take a look. Of course, the headline here says the color of pain. Interesting. And of course, seeing here, as still I proceed, President Museveni puts security chiefs on the spot that is over insecurity. And now this is part of what we call the hard questions in there. Okay, now proceeding, of course, the sports fraternity is definitely mourning the Olympic runner Cheptegei, who died yesterday after succumbing to severe burns that is from a domestic attack by her partner. Of course, there has been discussions around this particular event saying, why are we having Ugandan athletes practicing, going to Kenya? And it clearly shows us what we call the loopholes in that particular sector in terms of available equipment, environment, or anything that can facilitate an athlete to be in position to train efficiently when they are preparing for that. So the sports fraternity is definitely mourning the Olympic runner Cheptegei from that. Now, of course, still as I proceed, President Museveni laments failures in his anti-crime strategy. What are these failures like? Of course, they have all been listed here in the Daily Monitor. When you grab yourself a copy, you'll be in position to find out what really they are about. And the government is set to revamp 100 million shillings milk cooler that is in Namutumba. There, and that brings me to the end. Okay, before maybe perhaps I go to the end, let me just take a look at just a few headlines here. Government, still in the national news, government launches 2.2 trillion Greater Kampala road works, and here Kahindo Tafiri is saying that I didn't issue diplomatic passport to ordinary citizen. Well, that is it for now. We get into a short break, and of course, coming up is Caribbean, East Africa, and international updates, so where we shall be taking a look at artificial intelligence advancements in Kenya. Of course, taking a look at, we see how the AI technology is transforming the power generation in Kenya. And of course, we shall be also taking a look at reviewing the Nairobi statement, of course, which this happened a month ago, in line still with regulating artificial intelligence. More of those coming up shortly after this break. Stick around.
Smart 24, driving business.
Are you a woman entrepreneur or woman owning a business?